What's up, everyone? It is Anna back with another episode of Courtside with Camden. Today, I have with us a Big Ten champion, Super Bowl champion, and current analyst for the NFL Network. It is Mike Robb. How are you doing tonight, Mike?
Doing great. What's going on, Anna? And I'm a former Nittany Lion. I love it. It is.
You are.
Yeah.
Much like myself, love it. Bleed blue, blue and white.
Absolutely. I'm glad to be on your show.
Thank you. So how are you doing with the craziness of the NFL preseason? How's that going for you?
Oh man. So look, this is my 6th year being an analyst, 7th maybe. Preseason, I look for names, different names from college that I followed in college to see who's going to make the team. But other than that, I really don't get super engaged until the regular season when I know guys are getting paid, the games count and things like that.
Mm-hmm. Who are you most excited to watch this season?
Oh man, that's a lot. I mean, can Tom Brady win 8?
Yeah.
That may be low-hanging fruit. Can Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs get back to 3, get to 3 consecutive Super Bowls? I think that's very interesting. Will Aaron Rodgers last year, possibly in Green Bay? So definitely those are some of the big storylines. I really am looking forward to seeing Lamar Jackson. I want to see how he's improved. Can he push the ball downfield with more consistency? And can he get past the first or second round in the playoffs?
Okay, I love it. So before you were an analyst or even an athlete in the NFL, you played ball at Penn State, as we mentioned. When you look back at your time in Happy Valley, what are some of the most significant moments that stand out?
Oh, significant moments. It's so many, Anna.
Yeah. Well, you were a legend, so.
Yeah, it's so many. For me, just selfishly, the first day of moving into Shunk Hall, my family came up, helped me move in. I met my roommate and met other people in the dorm. That was pretty cool. Joe Paterno being, winning the game against Ohio State, being the winningest head coach in all of college football history. Mm-hmm. That was pretty cool. But we had something called, I don't know if y'all still do it. It was called the Mifflin Run, where everybody in Mifflin Hall, they're buck naked and they run down. That was awesome. We had football players do it. It was so awesome. That was cool. That's something I'll never forget. Every year I was there for it. Absolutely.
Out of all of the things that I thought you might say, that did not cross my mind once.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. We had some times. It was fun.
I love that answer. So creative. No, that is still very much a thing. Last year it wasn't, obviously, because nobody was on campus, but I do remember my freshman year. I was not there. I don't remember many athletes doing it, but very much still a thing. You know how Penn Staters are.
Yeah, man. We have some fun, man. That was something I look forward to, definitely.
Yeah. So how did winning a Big Ten championship compare to winning a Super Bowl?
Well, and I don't mean to diminish anything or take anything away from winning a Big Ten championship, but since I was a little boy, you dreamed about winning a Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, when I committed to Penn State and decided to go there, the Big Ten championship was all that we wanted to win, because winning a Big Ten championship means you played in the Rose Bowl, and then they changed some stuff up on us when the BCS thing kind of came and switched some stuff up. But the Super Bowl win, man, that's
uncomparable.
That's uncomparable. I tell you one thing, both journeys were very interesting for me. My journey to winning a Big Ten title, going through what I had to go through at Penn State as far as switching positions. Me and Joe had beef every so often. I almost transferred, you know what I'm saying? And then in the National Football League, that last year that I played when we won our Super Bowl, I went through kidney failure, liver failure. I lost about 60 pounds. Got back on the teams after 6 weeks in the regular season and was able to be with the team to win the Super Bowl. But it's just a testament to whatever something that's big in your life that you want to go for is going to be a struggle, and you're going to have to fight through some adversity.
Yeah, for sure. So you mentioned the switching up positions in college. You were quarterback, wide receiver, among other things. Yeah, literally everything.
Yeah.
And then when you got to the NFL, it was primarily running back, if I'm
yes.
correct.
Yes.
So how difficult was that transition? Was it frustrating for you? Was it something that you kind of stepped into willingly? Talk to me about that.
Well, I stepped into it willingly because quite frankly, when you get to the National Football League, and you may not know this, Anna, but every Wednesday when you go to your locker room, there's an envelope there and it's a check. So you get paid to do this. So I'm gonna play whatever the hell they want me to play.
Yeah.
My bills, you feel me? But I definitely, my dream wasn't to be an NFL quarterback. My dream was to play in the National Football League. So, I'm a hustler, man. I wanted to get there by any means necessary. And so when I got there, being drafted, getting an opportunity with Mike Nolan and the San Francisco 49ers, it was a difficult transition because, playing quarterback and wide receiver in college, like that's some of the, least contacted positions, you know what I'm saying? And then I went to play running back, which when the running back gets the ball, all 11 defenders are going at you at one time. So it's totally different, a totally different world. And it wasn't the biggest difference in like running the football because, when I played quarterback, I was a runner that could throw. So running the football wasn't the issue. It was practicing every single day at a running back position. Check this out. The first time that I lined up to pass protect, like block a linebacker, was my rookie year in the National Football League. I had never done it before in my life. My first time running down on a kickoff to cover a kick was against the Chicago Bears in 2006.
Oh my gosh.
Very first preseason game. I had never covered a kick before in my life. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just figuring stuff out as we go. You know what I mean? So, but that feeling, Anna, of kind of not knowing what's next and kind of having to just respond to whatever comes into your reality, that helped me in life. It helped me be prepared for anything that the world could throw my way.
Yeah, that perfectly leads into my next question. Speaking of like your versatility, how much did football help develop you as a man and a human being and doing all the things that you're doing in your life now?
Yeah, like football is the ultimate team sport. I don't care. I love basketball too, but football is the ultimate team sport. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, LeBron James can take over or go to a different team, and all of a sudden that team's going to the championship every single year. That ain't gonna happen in football. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fair point. There's a lot more people, a lot more pieces.
Yeah, a lot more pieces that have to fit together. 11 one-on-one matches, 11 one-on-one, one-on-ones that have to be won. And the quarterback can't be great without his left guard. The wide receiver can't be great without the left tackle. And the left tackle can't be great without the right. Everybody's connected, and it's kind of a metaphor for life, right?
Yeah.
You have to play your role in life. And so I wouldn't be on television. I'm a national speaker. I'm about to finish writing a book. Like I wouldn't be this guy that's communicating like this if it wasn't for a coach. And I always tell this story. When I was 9 years old, we were getting ready for a game, and my coach was trying to get all the kids like to calm down, right? And I was getting frustrated. I was quarterback. I was pissed off. I'm like, why isn't nobody listening to the coach? So I started yelling like, everybody shut up, be quiet. We got a game to win, blah, 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 blah. And, after the coach said what he was going to say, he pulled me to the side, and I'll never forget this. He pulled me to the side and he said, look, bro, I'm a grown man. You're 9 years old, and everybody on the field listened to you, not me. He said, so I'm gonna tell you this, Mike. You got to be very careful about the books you read, the things you read, the music you listen to, the shows you watch on TV. You got to be careful because when you speak, people listen. That's a gift. And I didn't quite understand it at 9 years old, but as I grew up and started realizing how I fit into society and what my role would be, being a master communicator is something that I pride myself on, and being able to teach people and communicate with people. And so I literally owe football, on the game of football, to me learning what my skill was that was going to make me successful in life for the long haul. And if it wasn't for that coach pulling me to the side, I don't know if I'd be doing this. I don't know if I'd be going around speaking and writing speeches and stuff like that. So football prepared me for life the right way.
What an incredible story to be able to tell. Clearly you are like a born leader and have the influence. I think coming from a person who plays on a team sport, there are people who have influence naturally, and it can go either way. And it's really unfortunate if they're not a great influencer.
Like I consult some police boards around the country, and I do some stuff here locally in Richmond, Virginia. And I'm always telling, the police officers, like, guys, that drug guy on the corner that you think is a bad guy, that guy has a lot of influence and probably has 100 people that listen to everything he says. Like that's a skill set that's there.
Yeah.
And maybe sometimes we need to, instead of calling them bad guys, maybe we need to kind of hone that skill and just turn it into something positive. So that's kind of what I do in my foundation work as well.
Man, you just keep leading right into my next questions. It's like you're reading my mind.
I've done this before. You know what I'm saying? I kind of know how things go.
So I was gonna ask you, like, what was your inspiration for creating your foundation, which is Excel to Excellence? What it's been around 11 years, is it?
Yeah, 11 years. So I actually have two foundations now. So I have Excel to Excellence, and then I have Excel to Excellence Youth Football Foundation, which is basically my football program got so big that I had to give it its own 501c3 because I didn't want people to think I was mixing money or anything like that. But really, honestly, Anna, like, I feel so indebted to this place I come from, because if it wasn't for the adversity I went through as a kid, if it wasn't for, the crack epidemic of the 80s being dropped on, certain neighborhoods here down in the South, well, actually all over the country, and it affected my dad. I didn't have my dad for a while. My mom had to kind of pull some weight. My brother had to pull some weight. My grandparents had to get involved. If it wasn't for that dope peddler on the corner that, tried to sell me drugs one time, if it wasn't for that, that guy that went after school one day, guy tried to break into my house. I was home by myself. If it wasn't for me dealing with all that adversity, I couldn't be the man I am today. And so I feel indebted to this place. And so I created the foundation just as a way to kind of pay this place back.
Yeah.
Creating me, you know what I'm saying? And I've probably spent, I don't know, $1.7 million on this community, just making sure that young people, I want them to know me while I'm living. I want them to know that they have somebody that's relevant here right now. They can touch, they can, give a high five to, all of those things. And I'm just not somebody that, gets out of Richmond and goes to Los Angeles or something and never comes back. I like for young people to be able to, touch me and say what's up and learn off the experiences that I had.
Yeah. I mean, with being a successful athlete comes a natural platform, but you've clearly taken that to a new level, where it's more than just a game and you have this influence and a role model appearance to all these kids. So what's your philosophy in leading the youth of, I think I watched an interview with you, you call them the leaders of tomorrow. How do you approach doing that?
Oh man, I just understand that, like, cause I have 4 babies myself, I got a 17-year-old boy, got a 13-year-old girl, I got an 11-year-old boy and an 8-year-old girl. I got 4. Okay. Wide variety.
I'm one of 4, so I know how it goes.
Yeah, wide variety of ages, and there are different points in their lives. And when you have kids, you start to realize, like, damn, man, like, I want to make sure that this world is better for them. I want to make sure I leave them something. I want to make sure I teach them something. I want to make sure that they can live a fruitful life like I have. And so every program we come up with, every time I write a check for a donation to a program that's over here, everything that we do comes from that, is trying to make a better future. I just try to open kids' eyes up. I told one of the senators here in Virginia, I had a meeting with him a couple of weeks ago. I told him I just try to wake kids up. I just wake them up. Just wake up to what's going on so that you can better operate when you become an adult. And the Football Foundation, again, we're trying to teach kids the sustainable skills for success in life through the game of football. Like, Anna, I tell people all the time, like, when a quarterback drops back, like high schooler, little leaguer, whatever, 8 years old, when he drops back, notices a 3-deep defense. Now, this may sound foreign to you, but you're going to get what I'm saying here in a second. He drops back, sees a 3-deep defense. The flat defenders, one is a linebacker, the other is a safety. When he hits his 5th step, he throws it to the linebacker side on an out, high and outside. And that happens in under a second, maybe a 1.2 seconds, right? Well, he throws to the linebacker side because the linebacker is less athletic than the safety, so the safety can get under the out faster than the linebacker can. Well, that type of brain activity is coding. Somebody builds websites doing the same stuff, recognizing patterns and stuff. but nobody teaches our young babies the language. So it's deemed that we're just playing a game. I think the same thing happens in basketball. You have to decide whether to go over that pick or under that pick. Are you going to let that shooter have that space? You know what I'm saying?
It's a game of seconds.
Yeah, that's a risk reward assessment that I pay a banker really good money every single year to manage my finances. The risk reward on what we're investing in. But nobody teaches us the language until we got to go get into the work field. So that's kind of what the Football Foundation is all about, you know, bettering the game of football, moving it forward, pushing it forward, because again, there's only a 1.6 chance that our babies go to the National Football League. That statement means that there's a 98.4% chance our baby's gonna be doing something else. So I want to make sure that they have the skills to do that something else.
Yeah. And one of those something else things that you're doing is, as we mentioned, is an analyst for NFL Network. Was broadcasting something that you always knew you wanted to do, or is that something you realized on later in your academic career?
So it was something I always wanted to do. I remember Mike Poorman, who's still a professor up at Penn State.
He's my professor this year.
Yeah, my dog. That's my dog, man. We used to have so many conversations about comm or whatever. But I just remember, like, when I first got to school, when I first got to Penn State, the School of Journalism, sports journalism kind of wasn't a thing yet.
Yeah.
And so I jumped in broadcasting and journalism. I went into advertising and public relations. Okay. And I ended up growing a love for that. I ended up like writing press releases and stuff like that. I ended up liking that. That ended up being real cool. And I had one more semester left before I was getting my diploma in that. And then the School for Sports Journalism opened up, and I had like 90% of all the credits already. So I just jumped in that. I knew I wanted to talk about the game of football if I couldn't play. I did know that. I knew I had a gift in communicating because, again, like I told you before, I had a coach when I was young tell me that. And so to me, when I got to college, it was all about just getting reps. And so I helped out with, we had a football program that used to come on that I would host every so often with my guy Guido at the time, who was kind of running all of that, kind of put me on and was like, hey, get your reps here. And then when I got to the National Football League, I created the Real Rob Report, which started off as the Rookie Report in San Francisco, and then it was the Robinson Report my second year and third year and fourth year. And then when I got released from San Francisco and went to Seattle, I bought my own camera and did my own edits. I do all my own stuff. I brought that show to the Seattle Seahawks, and we got over 15 million views in just a couple of years. And so my whole goal with that was, Anna, I wanted to get all of my mistakes out while I was in the National Football League doing a show where people was
smart man.
No matter what, right? I didn't want my mistakes to happen when I was getting paid for it. You know what I'm saying? So, I know that's a long answer to your question, but I always knew I wanted to communicate. And, you know, I think when I got to high school, I figured out, I could talk about this game of football in a way nobody else can. So it all worked out.
What would you recommend to aspiring journalists, broadcasters, whatever it might be, who are trying to further take those steps to be successful?
Number one, network. Like, I know, you know, people say that, but like, I like to show people how to network. Like, for instance, the National Football League had this player engagement program called Broadcast Boot Camp. And in 2012, I went, which was like second or third year of it being available to us. And then I went to the Advanced Broadcast Boot Camp the next year, and the greatest thing they gave, it's called literally.
I love the name.
They bring like 14 of us. We all go to Mount Laurel in New Jersey. We go to NFL Films. All of the media heavyweights.
That's
Fox,
amazing.
NBC, CBS, NFL Network. All of the executives are in one building.
Yeah.
And they take us through the gamut in like 4 days. They take us through every podcasting, on-site reporting, all that type of stuff, gameplay, all that type of stuff. And I went to it, and I learned a lot of that stuff at Penn State, right? So to me, they weren't really teaching me nothing in that regard. But the best thing I got out of those two experiences were, I got a notebook about that big, full of everybody's personal cell phone numbers and emails. And I said, oh, I'm about to use this. Every
I
Christmas,
bet you did.
every Christmas and Thanksgiving, they got a family car with me and my 4 kids on it. You know what I'm saying? I just want you to know my name. I just want you to know I care about, I'm watching your shows, this, that, and the third. Like, I sent one to the guy at Fox, and I even talked about some of the shows that were on at the time. And before you know it, these people start to think about you in that way, to put you on TV. So I would say networking is everything. Actually have some substance when you speak. Like, don't
elaborate on that.
Well, there's people, that sometimes will sit and just smile because they're attractive. I'm talking about men and women, and they're there because they have a look, but they really, they have a producer that have to feed them stuff in their ear the whole time.
Yeah.
Well, to me, the viewer can tell you don't know what the hell you talking about, man. Somebody's talking to you in your ear.
Yeah.
Like, you want to be able to have a conversation like you and I are having right now. So you got to pretty much own the content, like know it so well.
Oh yeah.
You could take a conversation anywhere. One of my colleagues, Colleen Wolf, I work with her on Good Morning Football Weekend. I love her because during the week she'll call me, "Hey Mike, I'm watching the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm watching, on the Game Pass, and there's a play in the second quarter I don't quite understand, but I want to talk about it. It looks like a phenomenal play by Patrick Mahomes. Could you just look at it and explain it to me?"
Yeah.
And I'll come get on my laptop and I'll find the play, I'll look at it, and we'll get on FaceTime and talk about it. And then that chemistry shows when we're on the show together, because now we can have a real conversation about some stuff. So have some substance. Don't just, smile and just sit there.
Don't just be a pretty face.
Don't just be a pretty face, man. Have some substance. I try to always educate, entertain, and intrigue. Those are my 3 things I try to do every single time I go on TV.
I love that. Great advice. All right, we're going to wrap it up with a quick game of this or that. Are you ready for it?
Let's get it.
All right, morning person or night person?
I'm a morning person, definitely.
Iced coffee or hot coffee?
What time of the year?
So how to think that far in advance. Let's go fall, because it's fall now.
Fall now? I'm probably going to go hot. Yeah.
Okay. Running back or quarterback?
Quarterback all day long.
Chipotle or Chick-fil-A? This is the big one.
Well, I'm a vegetarian, so I would.
Are you really?
Yes, I would have to
go
Chipotle. Yeah, I would have to go Chipotle on that.
Okay. All right, last this or that. Twitter or Instagram?
I'm really more of an Instagram person, but I don't post much at all anyway. I know you probably seen my Instagram and my Twitter. I tweet some, but I don't post as much as I should. I'm a very private person, so I have people in my business and stuff, and it seems like these social medias only reward you the more you participate in it. So I don't know. I'm kind of mid-level with that.
It's a very fair analysis of social media world. Yeah. coming from someone who participates quite a lot.
It's all good.
Thank you so much for being on here, Mike. We really appreciate it, and obviously wish you the best of luck in your time this coming up season.
Thank you, Anna, and good luck to you too, Hooper.
Thank you.
Your thing. Go out there and do your thing, girl. I appreciate it. Anytime, have me on.